Good morning. It is day 17 on the PCT. We've just woke up and started hiking. I think it's around 6 a.m. 6:30 maybe. And it's very chilly so far. My hands are quite cold. But if it's going to follow the usual pattern, it'll start off cold and then it'll be like 90 degrees later. Wanted to talk more about the bear that we saw yesterday. So that was actually the first bear that Joe and I have ever seen while hiking. And we've hiked a lot, like over probably 1,300 miles, mostly around the East Coast, which is where we're from. But yeah, it took 16 days on the PCT until we saw our first bear. He was very cute. He was on the smaller size. He was a black bear, but his color was kind of brown and he was fuzzy, and we were walking down a switchback and then he just kind of cut across it running down the hill like 10 or 20 feet in front of me. So that was very cool. And yeah, just feel lucky we got to see one. Trail has been rocks and boulders for the past like half mile to a mile, and exposed, very few trees. It's kind of fun though, different than anything we've done yet. Cinnamon. Sit a minute. That's where we sit for a minute. Well, sometimes we'll be walking and I'll go cinnamon and then we'll sit down. Joe, what's that lake called over there?
Oh, you mean that one? That one's called Joe Lake.
Joe Lake. Look at that mountain. Whoa. So Joe's looking at our map and we believe that that is Rainier, or however you say that. I think it's Rainier. It's so far away, but it's so big. That's crazy. Paw prints?
Yeah. And then they jumped up and they slid.
And I sit down. So today has been pretty epic. Was not expecting to see Mount Rainier today. At one point we were kind of nose down, working really hard on our way up this climb that we had been doing for a couple hours. and I paused to catch my breath, and I look up and I'm like, whoa, that's a big mountain. And then Joe looked it up, figured out it's Mount Rainier, and then afterwards some other hikers like came up behind us and they were doing the same thing. They had just like their nose down at their toes, which you should do. You should focus because those trails are skinny and steep. But anyway, I was standing at the switchback above them and I was like, hey, have you turned around? And they like spun around and they were like, whoa. So that was fun. And now, after many hours of climbing in the sun, we're at my favorite part, which is downhill in the shade. We've already hiked most of what we wanted to hike today. We haven't even had lunch yet, so it could be an early day, or we might just try to get ourselves as close to town as we can so that tomorrow's a very short Nero. And this is today's lunch spot. The trail switches back right there. And we are just sat on the side about to eat. We just went through a pretty long stretch without water. Or, I mean, we had water with us, but we really had to preserve it and not go through it because it would have been a while until we found more. And we thought we had another like 4 or 5 miles to go, and then we found this magical trickle coming down these rocks, and we just held our bladder against the rock until it was full, and now we have full water bottles and we're very happy. So today is Friday and it's the end of the day, so we're noticing a lot of day hikers now, or like weekenders, coming up with just a small pack so they can set up for the night, or just like trail runners who are running up the trail and then back down all in one evening. So we're seeing a lot more people than we normally do on a regular day. And we're also, I can see a road from here, which is also a site that we don't see very often. We're very close to Snow Colony Pass. I think we're about a mile from camp, and we're gonna see how that goes, because with all the day hikers it could be a little competitive to get a tent site. So hopefully we have somewhere semi-flat to set up. This is camp tonight. Tent over there. We're about 4 miles from town, and we're having dinner on this log.
Hello.
How's it going? We just met a Instagram dog on the trail. They just walked by. At Grandpa Loves You. Everybody give them a follow. Super sweet. We have an audience now as we're eating. There's one of these guys here, one over by the tent. I think that might be it.